Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It is so good to have you here with me today. I'm Tauya Matope, and today we're talking about something that is so close to my heart, something absolutely core to successful social work with children and families, and that is our values. You know, you can learn all the theories, you can master all the techniques, but if your heart isn't in the right place, if you aren't guided by a deep internal compass, then the work becomes just a series of tasks. But when you are led by your values, that's when you connect. That's when you make a real lasting difference in the lives of the people who need you most. What I know for sure is that this work is a calling. It requires every part of you. So whether you're a student just starting on this incredible journey, newly qualified and finding your feet in this demanding world, or an experienced practitioner looking to reflect and refresh your spirit, these 10 values will help you stay grounded, effective, and ethical in your practice. They are the bedrock, the foundation upon which everything else is built. They are the light that will guide you through the most challenging days and remind you why you started in the first place. This isn't just a list, this is an invitation to look within, to connect with the very essence of why you chose this path. It's about building a practice that is not only effective, but also deeply authentically human. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and get ready to explore the principles that have the power to transform not just your work, but you too. Let's get into it. The first value, and truly where it all begins, is empathy. Now, I'm not just talking about sympathy, which is feeling sorry for someone. I'm talking about the profound, soul-deep ability to feel with someone. It's about taking off your own shoes and for a moment trying to feel what it's like to walk in theirs. It's looking into the eyes of a parent who is overwhelmed and scared and not seeing a case, but seeing a human being trying their best with what they have. It's hearing a child's silence and understanding the story it tells. Empathy is the bridge that closes the distance between us and them. When you lead with empathy, you dissolve the walls that fear and mistrust build up. It's what allows a family who may have been let down by every system they've ever encountered to finally let you in. Empathy says, I see you, I hear you, and what you feel matters. It's not about having all the answers or fixing everything right away. It's about creating a sacred space where someone feels safe enough to be vulnerable. This is where the real work, the hard work, begins. It is the fundamental ingredient for building trust and supporting truly meaningful, lasting change in people's lives. And right alongside empathy, you must have respect. Unconditional, unwavering respect. Every single child, every parent, every grandparent, every foster carer you meet deserves to be treated with absolute dignity. This is non-negotiable. Respect isn't just about being polite. It's a deep, internal belief in the inherent worth of every individual, regardless of their circumstances, their choices, or their struggles. It means you listen, truly listen, not just to the words, but to the meaning behind them. You put away your own judgments, your own preconceived notions, and you meet them right where they are, as they are. For so many of the families we work with, their lives have been filled with people telling them what they're doing wrong. They've been judged, dismissed, and made to feel small. You might be the very first professional, the very first person in a position of authority who truly sees them, who sees their strengths, their resilience, their love for their children, even when it's buried under layers of pain and crisis. When you offer someone your genuine respect, you give them back a piece of their own power. You affirm their humanity, and that simple, powerful act can be the catalyst for them to start believing in themselves again. Now let's talk about our North Star, our guiding light in every single thing we do child-centered practice. This means that in every meeting, every decision, every phone call, the child's safety, their well-being and their voice are at the absolute heart of it all. It's a promise we make. We work with families, we support parents, we collaborate with entire communities, but we must never, ever lose sight of our primary responsibility, the child. Their needs, their feelings, their future, that is the lens through which we must view everything. This can be challenging, especially when you have loud adult voices in the room or complex family dynamics at play. But our job is to tune into the child's frequency. We have to be advocates for the baby who cannot yet speak, for the quiet teenager who expresses their pain through withdrawal, or for the child with disabilities whose needs might be overlooked. Being child-centered means we are detectives for their well-being, always asking, how does this decision impact the child? What would this feel like for them? Is this truly in their best interest? This principle keeps our purpose clear and our actions true. The fourth value is one of profound importance in our wonderfully diverse world: cultural humility. And let's be clear about what this really means. It's not about becoming an expert on every single culture. That's impossible. Actually, it's the opposite. It's about recognizing that you are not the expert on a family's culture, their identity, their faith, or their lived experience. It's about letting go of the need to know it all and instead embracing the spirit of not knowing. It's approaching every single family with genuine curiosity and a deep-seated respect for their unique story. This means you ask questions respectfully and openly. You listen to understand, not to categorize or confirm a stereotype you might hold. You seek to learn what is important to them, what their traditions are, what gives their life meaning, and how their culture shapes their parenting and their worldview. When families feel that you are genuinely trying to understand them on their own terms, that you see and honor their identity instead of trying to fit them into a box, a powerful connection is formed. They will engage more, they will trust more, and your work together will be so much more meaningful and effective. Let's talk about integrity. This is the very spine of our professional practice. Integrity means being honest even when the truth is difficult. It means being transparent about our role, about the process, about what we can and cannot do. It's about being consistent, reliable, and accountable for our actions. When you tell a family you are going to call them back on Tuesday, you call them back on Tuesday. When you make a promise, you move heaven and earth to keep it. Your word has to be your bond. In this line of work, trust is the most precious currency we have. It is incredibly fragile and can be shattered in an instant. For many families, their trust has been broken time and time again by systems and by people. When we operate with integrity, we slowly, carefully begin to rebuild that trust. It means owning our mistakes when we make them, and we will make them, because we are human. Admitting you were wrong or that you don't have an answer doesn't make you weak, it makes you trustworthy. Integrity is doing the right thing, especially when no one is watching. It is the quiet, steady foundation of an ethical and honorable career. This next value is one we must hold dear for ourselves: resilience. My friends, this work is a marathon, not a sprint. It is profoundly rewarding, but let's be honest with each other. It is also emotionally demanding. You will carry stories that are heavy, you will witness pain that can feel overwhelming, and you will face situations that test your limits. Resilience is the inner strength that allows you to absorb that secondary trauma, to cope with the tough days, to manage immense pressure and risk, and to keep showing up with an open heart when everything in you feels like shutting down. But resilience isn't something you're just born with. It's something you cultivate. It's a practice. It means building a life outside of work that nourishes your soul. It means having people you can talk to, a supervisor you can be truly honest with, and hobbies that bring you joy. It means recognizing the signs of burnout and having the courage to say, I need help. Looking after your own well-being is not a luxury. It is an ethical imperative. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Tending to your own spirit is what allows you to continue tending to the spirits of the children and families who depend on you. Now we come to a value that, really calls on our courage: advocacy. We must be a voice for those who are not being heard. We must be champions for the children and families who are being ignored, excluded, or treated unfairly by the very systems that are supposed to help them. Advocacy means you don't just accept the status quo when you see an injustice. You speak up in meetings, you challenge decisions that are not in a child's best interest, and you fight for the resources that a family is entitled to but can't access. This isn't about being confrontational for the sake of it. It's about using your professional standing, your knowledge, and your voice to level the playing field. Many families are intimidated by bureaucracy. They don't know the language of the system. They don't know their rights. They don't know who to call. You are their guide, their translator, and sometimes their warrior. You are the one who can write the letter, make the phone call, and stand beside them to ensure their needs are met. Being an advocate means you use your power to empower them. It is, honestly, one of the most important and impactful roles you will ever play. This brings us to a truth that is essential for success. You simply cannot do this work alone. The value of collaboration is about understanding that we are part of a much larger web of support. The challenges our families face are complex and multifaceted, and no single person or agency has all the solutions. True and lasting change happens when we work together. This means building strong, respectful relationships with teachers, doctors, police officers, therapists, housing officers, and most importantly, with the family and their own support network. A collaboration is more than just sending an email or making a referral. It's about picking up the phone and having a real conversation. It's about co-creating a plan with the family, not for them. It's about sharing information ethically and effectively to get a full picture of a child's world. When we break down the silos between our services and work as a united team, we create a powerful safety net around a child. We offer wraparound support that is coordinated, holistic, and truly meets the family's needs from all angles. Remember, a chorus is always more powerful than a single voice. The ninth value is a gift you give to yourself and to every family you work with. It is the discipline of reflective practice. This work moves so fast, it's so easy to just go from crisis to crisis, from visit to visit, without ever pausing to breathe and to think. But reflection is where the deepest learning happens. It's about carving out intentional time to think about your work, to consider the decisions you made and why you made them, to honestly examine your own biases, your emotional reactions, and how your personal story might be influencing your professional judgment. Supervision is a key part of this, but it must be more than just a to-do list or a case update. It should be a safe space to be vulnerable, to explore your uncertainties, to celebrate your successes, and to grow as a practitioner. Ask yourself the hard questions. What could I have done differently? What am I feeling about this family and why? What is this situation teaching me about myself? This continuous journey inward is what keeps us from becoming robotic or jaded. Reflective practice is what keeps us ethical, thoughtful, human, and always, always improving. And finally, our 10th value, which underpins everything else, a fierce commitment to social justice. We cannot and we must not do this work in a vacuum. We have to see the bigger picture. We must acknowledge that the personal struggles of the families we work with are so often connected to larger systemic issues. We cannot ignore the crushing impact of poverty, the deep wounds of racism and discrimination, the instability caused by housing insecurity, or the barriers faced by families because of their immigration status. A commitment to social justice means we don't just help people cope with unfair systems. We actively work to challenge and change those systems. It means we advocate for better policies, we fight for equitable access to resources, and we name injustice when we see it. It's understanding that a parent's failure to cope might actually be a failure of the system to provide adequate support. Social justice isn't just a trendy buzzword to put on a mission statement. It is a fundamental, active, and ongoing part of the job. It is the belief that a better, fairer world is possible and that we have a role to play in building it. So, those are 10 core values to guide you in your incredible work with children and families. From the deep connection of empathy to the courageous pursuit of social justice, these are the principles that give our work its meaning, its power, and its soul. They are the anchors that will hold you steady in the stormiest of seas and the lights that will illuminate your path forward. This work will ask a lot of you, but what you give, you will get back tenfold in the knowledge that you are making a profound difference. Remember, the skills, the theories, and the knowledge are all critically important, but your values are what ground you. They are the why behind everything you do. They are what guide your actions when the policy is unclear or the situation is impossibly complex. They are what will sustain you for the long haul. So I encourage you to hold them close, to reflect on them often, and to let them be the compass that directs your every interaction. Let them be the measure of your success. If you found this helpful, if it resonated with your spirit today, please do like this video, share it with a colleague who might need to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more conversations like this. And I really want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What value resonates most with you right now in your practice? Or which one do you feel a calling to work on more? Until next time, keep showing up, doing what you are doing, keep learning, and most of all, keep leading with your whole heart.